Hello and welcome to Lamplighter. Today is July 7. Today we continue to read the prophecies of Isaiah. Remember, Isaiah, being one of the great messianic prophets, has much to say about the coming Messiah. Now, in today's prophecies from Isaiah that we read, we'll find that the tone has turned from negative and gloom and doom to really hopeful, as he begins to lay out what God's plan for mankind has always been from the very beginning. And so in this very first section we read in today's reading, it is entitled A Spiritual Reawakening. And here you find a nice summary of God's plan. Therefore, this is what the Lord, who redeemed Abraham, says to the house of Jacob. No longer will Jacob be ashamed, no longer will their faces grow pale. When they see among them their children, the work of my hands, they will keep my name holy. They will acknowledge the holiness of the Holy One of Jacob and will stand in awe of the God of Israel. Those who are wayward in spirit will gain understanding. Those who complain will accept instruction. So there is hope for the people of God. God has some promises in store for them, if only they will be faithful to his call. Then there's a section entitled Vineyard to be Restored. And we read this, In that day, sing about a fruitful vineyard. I, the Lord, watch over it. I water it continually. I guard it day and night so that no one may harm it. I am not angry. If only there were briars and thorns confronting me, I would march against them in battle. I would set them all on fire. Or else let them come to me for refuge. Let them make peace with me. Yes, let them make peace with me. He goes on to say, in days to come, Jacob will take root, Israel will bud and blossom, and fill all the world with fruit. Happy days are coming, you see. Then near the end of that section, we read this, In that day the Lord will thresh from the flowing Euphrates to the Wadi of Egypt, and you, O Israel, will be gathered up one by one. And in that day, a great trumpet will sound. Those who were perishing in Assyria and those who were exiled in Egypt will come and worship the Lord on the holy mountain in Jerusalem. So as bad as things appear, they will get better. That's the promise God is making, especially for those, again, who are faithful to him. Blessings are going to come back to the people of God. The fruit of righteousness, we read, will be peace. The effect of righteousness will be quietness and confidence forever. But then there's a tremendous section here in our reading today entitled Sin Will Be Forgiven. And I want us to listen to all of these beautiful promises God is making to his people then, that are also promises God continues to make to his people today. O Lord, be gracious to us. We long for you. Be our strength every morning, our salvation in time of distress. The Lord is exalted, for he dwells on high. He will fill Zion with justice and righteousness. He will be the sure foundation of your times, a rich store of salvation and wisdom and knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the key to the treasure. You who are far away, hear what I have done. You who are near, acknowledge my power. Who of us can dwell with the consuming fire? Who of us can dwell with everlasting burning? He who walks righteously and speaks what is right, who rejects gain from extortion and keeps his hand from accepting bribes, who stops his ear against plots of murder and shuts his eyes against contemplating evil. This is the man who will dwell on the heights, whose refuge will be the mountain fortress. His bread will be supplied and water will not fail him. Your eyes will see the King in his beauty and view a land that stretches afar. In your thoughts you will ponder the former terror. Where is that chief officer? Where is the one who took the revenue? Where is the officer in charge of the towers? You will see those arrogant people no more. Those people of an obscure speech with their strange, incomprehensible tongue. You know, the foreign armies that had invaded. Look upon Zion, the city of our festivals. Your eyes will see Jerusalem, a peaceful abode, a tent that will not be moved. Its stakes will never be pulled up, nor any of its ropes broken. There the Lord will be our mighty one. It will be like a place of broad rivers and streams. No galley with oars will ride them. No mighty ship will sail them. For the Lord is our judge. The Lord is our lawgiver. The Lord is our king. It is he who will save us. No one living in Zion will say, I am ill, and the sins of those who dwell there will be forgiven. Now that was a lengthier reading, but isn't that amazing? All of these promises God is making to a people who know that they've been sinful, who know that they've been rebellious, who know that they are being carried away by the enemy. When it looks like the world is over, the end has come, God still promises to be faithful to them. God still promises wonderful things in store for those who will follow his way, for those who will listen to his voice and do as he commands. Then we have this sort of strange interlude here in Isaiah's writing, where all of a sudden he switches from this tone of hope and promise for the nation of Israel, and he starts to write about one particular person and really is bringing some judgment or condemnation on a man by the name of Shebna. Now, Shebna serves in Hezekiah's court, and Shebna is one who has used his position, apparently, to carve out for himself some sort of burial site. But because of the abuse of this position, Isaiah says he's going to lose that position. And then we read about Eliakim, who is the one who steps up to replace Shebna. So even amidst all of this promise of glory and hope for the people of God that is ultimately going to come, God is still recognizing individual selfishness, individual arrogance, individual sin, and holding that individual accountable for his actions. And then, what a perfect way for this section to end. Look at those last 4 words. The Lord has spoken. It reminds me of the old E.F. Hutton commercials on television, where the punchline was, when E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen. Better than that, listen to the Lord. When the Lord has spoken, we should stop everything we're doing. We should drop anything that might distract us and listen to the voice of God. That's why we read our Bibles daily. We want to be reminded that it is God who is speaking to us, God who is showing us the way that we need to live in order to be pleasing to him. Isn't it great to be a lamplighter? His word is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. I hope you have a blessed day.